Hello there everyone and welcome back. It's a brand new patch day and a lot of things have changed. Interestingly enough, I want to argue very little has changed for my lance fleet, even though arguably the lance potential or the piercing potential of these lances have been nerfed down. I would seriously argue they actually been buffed slightly. For sure, if I'm shooting against like 83 armor, it still doesn't get knocked down all the way to 50, but it's only like 58 armor, I believe, if I did my math properly, so that's roughly only a 16% damage reduction as far as a nerf in general against frontal armor of like Imperial Navy or anything with heavy armor. But against most of my opponents, which are probably sporting 67 armor, and let's not even talk about Eldari, which now have the potential to have their armor reduced down to 25, this is a buff in all those other circumstances, where the lances really get hindered, as we've probably already suspected, the prow of the Orcs, the Imperial Navy, and of course Adeptus Astartes, the Space Marines, and Necrons. And even then, it is a minor downgrade in Space Marines, probably where it would be most felt, since a lot of their ships have low health, especially with the reliance on light cruisers and cruisers, as opposed to like the big battleships, whereas opposed to Necrons, they rely a lot on their big ships. I want to argue anyway. That's probably where the least reduced damage of the lance is going to be most felt. But nonetheless, there's a lot of additional quality of life changes that were made, and since I haven't really had much of a chance to understand it and play with it, this is going to be a rough test otherwise. Outside the one preparation match I did beforehand, this will be a little bit off. It'll be a little bit interesting. What am I trying to say anyway? I don't expect to utilize the new Call to Arms mechanic the best, is what I'm trying to say, since I don't quite understand exactly how it works to the best of my ability just yet. And we even have the means to transfer or siphon troops over from one ship to the other, which I have yet to play with as well. And a lot of this is going to come down to the fact that these abilities don't actually have dang hotkeys for them, which is still going to be an irritant, a really damn annoyance, but what Call to Arms is now, it basically reduces the effect of boarding damage, but while this effect is active, you are going to be moving slower and you aren't going to fire your weapons at all, so you need to be smart with how you utilize this, let alone how long you use this effect too. So we're going to learn how this works together, I suppose, unless you already did a bunch of multiplayer or played the campaign yourself to see these in action already. Hell, I wonder if a lot of these changes even made it to the campaign now that I think of it. Nonetheless, the fleet hasn't changed at all there. I like the potential of it. The only difference, of course, is the siren cannons, as I hinted at in my third match, since apparently the extended range even after the patch is still bugged where it doesn't stack with the lock-on. That seems to be what's going on, or maybe I hit a threshold where you can't extend your range past whatever would go beyond, was it? It's 18,000 for max range before lock-on, I'm assuming, right? I need to find a ship that has lances to know ahead of time. So yeah, that's the max range, so I guess the range of these weapons can't go past 2,000 or 22,500 units, if I had to guess anyway. Or it could be another bug, or rather a bug that has yet to be fixed. Nonetheless, let's get this going. You're not here to listen to me ramble about bugs. Oh, Gemadon. This was my opponent for the warm-up match, which is going to be interesting because I know exactly what he was utilizing, or at least what he was utilizing for. 2 tomb ships and a shroud. Well, it's actually not a shroud, it's probably a cartouche or kopej, one of those 2 cruisers, or light cruisers at least, which he uses for the recall. So I managed to win that match, but at the end of the day, maybe I have a good idea how to mitigate a lot of this damage potential some. Ideally, it comes down to how well can I deal with the light cruiser. Since I have lances, that'll be pretty effective. And here's another quality of life change. Stasis bomb, micro warp jump, and all these effects are here. Although, what on earth could I change to actually be useful? Aside from maybe boarding potential, that would actually be useful for crippling the kopej maybe with lightning strikes. Since I don't know how much I'm going to be relying on morale damage, let's be serious. But this is a whole new mechanic, I'm not sure how to get the most out of it. And I'm hoping this applies to all my critical hits. It doesn't really show it, but I'm making a bit of a gambit, or a bit of a gamble with that said. Otherwise, let's see with my commentary if I can perform as I did last time. I did win that match, but it was kind of by the skin of my teeth. I would argue at least. Now, let me get my groups all set up. That might help too. And what I was going to experiment with was having my despoiler in front to kind of mitigate a lot of the critical hit chances, but I don't think it's warranted as much here. I don't think so anyway. But I worry... Oh, come on, I told you to boost your cursed things. Get moving. I do worry that this may be a poor performance because of the commentary alone. It does hinder me a tiny bit. Especially with what I said. I kind of know what they're fielding, and I know what upgrades they're to kind of expect. It's the repair. Yeah, I gotta keep in mind that there's the repair ability, and I flew off there. That was not what I want. We're already seeing this in effect there. I spent a lot of my mental energy, if I were to guess, on the dang... Well, on my dang last match. If I had to guess. If I'm gonna go out of a limb, anyway. But if I could find that scythe, that Kopej, whatever the hell light cruiser is, and start crippling it, then I'm in good shape. It isn't doing its inertialist drive. That's the big thing to keep in mind here. But if I could spot early enough, then I'm in good shape. Oh, damn it! This is getting bad. But killing that frigate will be good for me. And let's see, can I at least kill this thing with torpedoes? That was a bad torpedo shot, wasn't it?
You have seized a strategic area.
A little bit of a bad torpedo shot.
Your orders.
Now.
Enemy ship sighted.
All right, let's get this out of here.
As the War Master wills.
And this is the ship that needs to die right now.
We'll follow your command for now.
It's going to be a lot more brutal game with that said, but I could sort of deal with this so long as most of my ships make it intact. Cap the points and damage the hell out of this Kopej. Try to. Yeah, I'm probably going to fall apart there just because of the not being able to focus as easily. And sadly, I'm already getting critical hits of sorts. Come on. Kill this thing. You were supposed to boost away, because that's kind of your main strength right now. These frigates can do damage. And sadly, engines are critically hit too, so that's a bit of a bummer. If only a little bit. But this gives me a massive momentum swing. Rough start, but maybe I'm okay. And I gotta keep in mind the Necrons also have like the ability to do damage with their fighters, even though technically we're in good shape here. To a vague extent. Just keep hitting this cursed thing. Come on. Oh, engines are permanently destroyed, so that's a bit of a big bummer there, but if I can kill the Kopej, the Scythe, whatever the hell this thing's called, I'm okay. Engines are permanently destroyed on you. That's the big exception to this rule here. But it's looking promising. I kind of want torpedoes to help contribute, with that said, though. Actually, I might ram you for good measure. There. Let's finish this thing quickly. This might get anticlimactic, actually.
Incompetence. We cannot fight on.
It's going to be a slow battle, but without the dang recall, as we witnessed, this might still be good. And just now need to kill our frigate friend. Which actually be pretty easy as well. I just missed the torpedo shot. Since I still have 3 raiders... I should have probably warped that out. That would have been the smart choice in all seriousness. And it's like... Yeah, I get that a lot too. So I think this may be game. It's possible I was not paying attention due to the franticness of the situation and need to snipe that light cruiser. But I should be able to easily keep distance. And now... I can't remember how to pronounce his name. I want to at least give him the respect by remembering his name properly. Jamodon. Unless Jamodon can keep hitting, and actually, I'm just gonna hold fire a few. Ideally,
The
I
enemy
don't
has
want to
seized
warp
a
out
strategic area.
because that would give them bonus points to my opponent.
Your orders?
But I think this may be game. It was a quick and brutal one at that, but
We are unstoppable!
so long as I can do damage, I'm in good shape. I just gotta start hitting and start prioritizing there. And be ready to get the hell out at a moment's notice.
Reporting!
That's the big thing. Watch for the inertialist drive. Oh, he's still got frigates, which I can, in theory, still deal with.
The enemy has accumulated
I just gotta not get tunnel
25%
visioned.
of strategic points.
No, it's the same one from earlier.
Executing high energy turn! Reporting!
The torpedo's a torpedo hit. That's all I know.
Ship sighted!
The enemy has seized a
Actually,
strategic
I think the
area.
smart thing would be to shoot that thing. Kill off its crew, or at least
Your orders?
do what damage we can to it. Since this is the one thing that can only this is the only thing that can complicate my situation right now, and I have enough scanner pulses to
Show us our
easily.
victims!
Also, I gotta keep in mind.
As the War Master
Now, let me just group these properly. You're Group 2. Congratulations. You are
have
Group
seized a
3.
strategic area.
And now we'll start grabbing points and doing scanner pulses.
Show us our victims!
And ideally,
We are
get to spying these
unstoppable!
things as soon as possible.
For the War Master!
It's only a frigate, mind you, but at the same time,
For the
things can go
ruinous
horribly wrong for in a
powers!
moment if I get complacent. We know the tomb ships are in there.
Moving to
I
those
just gotta wait for them
coordinates.
to make the first move, ideally.
We stand ready!
There, that was easily fixed, to a limited extent. I guess that was from mutinies and other effects.
Setting course!
Well, I don't know if that's technically true,
we stand
since everything's
ready!
kind of silent running right now.
As the War Master wills.
Now, let's reveal these. I don't even need to reveal both of them, let's be serious. I just need to reveal one of them.
We stand
And then I can
ready.
start doing the damage necessary.
Enemy ship sighted! We'll follow your command for now.
Alright,
Break them!
try and cripple the one there, and steal the points behind them, put them in a very precarious position. So long as these Acrons are alive, I'm in good shape. It's going to be relatively not very exciting. Oh, you got another frigate of note. Oh no, that's the same frigate from earlier, that's why. And also helps if...
Reporting!
Dang it, I burnt all my combustion gauge, which is going to really stink there for the next
We
micro
stand
warp
ready.
jump. But that is crippled. It is possible
You have
for me
seized a
to
strategic
do a
area.
lot of damage really quickly here. This is going to cost me, I think.
Engines hot!
The micro warp jump maybe might
Show us
hurt
our
me.
victims!
So long as they don't jump into that Acron, I
Show
may
us
be in
our
good shape
victims.
here.
Moving to those
And ideally,
coordinates.
get these two to join in on the fight.
Reporting!
It's going to be slow and steady. There's not a lot of commentary I could do here.
Your orders. For the ruinous powers!
Yeah, this is probably what cost me right there. Letting that combustion gauge
Setting
go.
course.
I could deal with morale easily enough.
Minions
I just gotta be
rampage through
mindful
their ship.
of critical hits of sorts.
Moving to those coordinates.
Alright, you can get going there. If anything, I can just grab both those at the same time. Actually, I should just reload.
Reloading ordnance.
As much as I would like critical hits.
Repair that damage at once.
Okay, let's not do this mistake again, please. I got the benefit of range. Let's not screw it over.
Engines hot.
Since I can grab these 4 points and get a nice lead of sorts at this from here on out. I just need to get vision, which, ooh, this might be awkward,
To the slaughter.
because my Acron is going to be in a bit of an awkward predicament if it gets spotted.
For now. Enemy ship
Alright.
sighted.
So let's group them together. Have these frigates ideally deal with our raider friend. That's not what I wanted.
We
Engine
stand
permanent,
ready.
critical hit, so
You have seized a strategic area.
I want to say I messed up there. This was kind of my match to win there if it does go
The
bad.
enemy has seized a strategic
Because that's going to
area.
die, that's going to give a bunch of points.
To the slaughter.
The
I can at
enemy
least
has
shoot them.
accumulated 50% of strategic
Oh, and I let the combustion gauge go again. Stupid me. This is my match to lose in all seriousness. I messed up tremendously here. It could still potentially be a win, since there are only 2 tomb ships after all versus 4 frigates. I gotta figure out where the frigate's gonna go, which is more likely gonna be in the one way back there. So I think I'm in good shape otherwise, as far as potentially winning this match, but I messed that up horribly. That should not have happened in the slightest. Now let's go and greet them.
Reporting. We stand ready.
Alright, the smart thing I want to do is probably trying to retreat. That's a new mechanic there that I could have been utilizing to help minimize my points. Otherwise, there's not really much else to say. It's just a matter of punishing this one little frigate here, which I can do. It's already lost a good portion of its crew.
You have seized a strategic
I'm going to have
area.
more ships there. It's not even going to get a chance to neutralize it if I do this properly.
Engines to full ahead.
Ah, dang it. It's not going to make it out. So yeah, I messed up horribly there.
Ready.
You have accumulated 50%
You are going to
of
reload as
strategic
well.
points.
I'm doing it early, so at least that way the cooldown for Assault Ryan comes back up quickly. So, this potentially can work out well. Actually, that was not what the key I wanted. I want the pulse, which was a bit of a mistake.
We are unstoppable.
A big mistake, I would argue.
We stand ready.
They'll be here shortly. We do have vision, so right now I'm gaining like 4 points a second. At least momentarily. I should. In all seriousness, the ones with full health should go up there, and these two, especially since their scanner pulse is kind of on cooldown, should go down there and grab that. It's really what it comes down to. I have the helps to just ram that thing to death.
Your orders.
Not much else to say. I pretty much did all I could do. It's just a matter of playing the cat and mouse game, which ultimately will require the tomb ships to kind of split up, in all seriousness,
Show us our victims.
and not letting my combustion gauge run out ideally. Since I don't even need to hunt down, kill the frigate, I just need to make sure it doesn't cap any points. Ideally.
For the War Master.
Although, how am I gonna... It's more than likely turned around if I were gonna be serious. Can I spot? Let me at least use a scanner pulse. There it is.
Engines hot.
Yep, I figured it would turn around. I just figured it would turn around sooner. With that
For the
said,
War Master.
you got full charge, you're good.
Show us our victims.
And I have the health and means to kind of kill this thing.
Ruinous powers.
And that should, in theory, seal the deal. Well, it's not technically true, just because the tomb ships might be in range to do damage.
Set engines to full ahead.
I'm gonna just ram this thing. I'm gonna save the torpedoes till after.
For now.
Until after inertial drive, anyway. Although I wasn't paying attention to the cooldown of that.
For the War Master.
Let's see, your combustion gauge is gone, alas.
Slaughter.
But we do have fission. Probably not gonna kill it, but at least...
We are unstoppable.
Oh god, this is really awkward. Hey, how's it going?
Start the rituals.
I think I already... That probably would have bored me immediately, wouldn't it have? Let's not put ourselves in a bigger grave, at least, if nothing else.
Warp engines are flying.
Since that way, with 3 points, it's gonna be close enough as is.
War Master wills.
I may just leave the commentary from here on out. Gotta keep in mind I'm getting close to the tomb ship, which can micro warp jump.
Reporting.
You have seized a strategic area.
To the slaughter.
Ah, that's a shame. It killed off everything. So, my plan of warping out got foiled immediately. I should have paid attention to that too.
Powers.
The
This
enemy has
this was
seized a
simply put
strategic
my
area.
match to lose. Simply put. I didn't even need to fight the tomb ships in all
Setting
seriousness.
course.
The
I just
enemy
need
has
to-
accumulated 75% of strategic points.
Alright,
We stand ready.
let's just avoid this altogether because it's more than likely going to jump.
Reporting.
Well,
The War Master wills.
I don't know. I can't quite recall if the point defense actually gives away my position at all or not, but
Set engines to full ahead.
time to do some
You have
manually
accumulated
controlling here.
75% of strategic points.
We're going to manually control our way through this
Follow
asteroid
your
field.
command. For now.
Oh, you can also hear me. I kind of forgot that little rule too. Dang it. My plans to try and minimize damage failed spectacularly, didn't it? Because now I think I might get a mutiny just because of that. It's looking promising. It's looking likely. Yes, I gotta set these on separate groups again, damn it. That's now starting to hurt me. Alright, I don't think you have any more boarding options. Okay, you can, but I have called arms to help mitigate that some. That mightn't have been a horrible idea with all things considering.
For the War Master!
I'm trying to minimize the troop damage.
We stand ready!
Yeah, I'm pretty much dead. The fire assaults alone just did it on me.
Engines hot!
So I think what I need to do is to stop trying to boost. This sadly is my loss. Let's cut to the chase now. This is probably over. I screwed it up. Relish in my defeat. Because even if I get 3 points, it's just laying all those points hemorrhage up. Is all seriousness. I could have warped out that one Akron. I could have warped out to the spoiler. That's really all it was. It's a shame. Oh well. Well, if nothing else, it shows I could have won otherwise. So if... I'm at a loss for words. What can I say? Let's just move on to the next game. Oh, we're gonna get ourselves another Chaos Smear match. Well, honestly, if this becomes too consistent, I may start cutting these out. I don't want to have nothing but the same matchups, ideally. But let's at least put that damn failure of a match due to my misplays behind me. Let's try and get ourselves another victory. Although, it can be a very difficult match to still win in the chaos with the mirror match. It just depends really what my opponent's fielding. I think I can do well against the fighters to a limited extent since I do have the frigates to help in heavily mitigating that. And then otherwise, let's see, what am I really afraid of? Maybe something with super aggression like the Slaughters, maybe. I want to engage them as far away as possible, and my stasis bomb, while will be really good at keeping distance, it will have too long of a cooldown. I gotta be able to ideally burn that when their combustion gauge is being spent. I think is what it comes down to. And where the hell? I almost want to put my battleship and cruisers over here, if I were to be honest. If I were to be honest, and then have these two here. At least that way I can hug the edge and start circling around there easily. The only exception would be if my opponent decides to put their ships directly in front of me. That might at least make it difficult to at least swing around and grab these points. Otherwise, Stinker. If that is your real username, let's get this going. And hopefully I perform better. I seriously doubt it. Fatigue is a thing. So everything's in the middle, 4 ships. Every time I see that, I suspect Grand Cruisers, even though technically it was not the case in my last Chaos Smear match. I still can't help but suspect that's what's going on. I probably played too many matches with the lower ranked players, or at least newer and less skilled players, to kind of it's probably where I'm getting this suspicion. Oh, I kind of forgot to set your waypoints. That would help some.
We are unstoppable.
That's kind of like the first thing I should be doing in all seriousness. I don't know how I overlooked that. I'll be glad when this video is behind me there. Give me a few days to at least rest and relax in preparation for my Friday video and maybe have a little bit of fun with the Twitch stream. If I can keep with my routine, if nothing else. But otherwise, I think this looks promising. I gotta spot them immediately. Which goes without saying, to at least, ideally, do the damage necessary and start chipping them down. I don't want to give them the convenience. Oh, okay, so fighter bays. I almost want to have reload for that reason alone. I want to reveal them. Actually, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Your groups 3, you're all going to help deal with these fighters, one of which is either a Stig or a Grand Cruiser. And you are going to ideally reveal what these ships are. It's looking possible they're Stigs. Can I just shoot those things down? I am gonna get 3 objectives, so it's not too terrible. Ooh. So launching bombers already. That I seriously question that there, buddy. But nonetheless, we can see what these are. All fighter fleet. I could deal with this. I know how to manage this. I'm going to have brace for impact up in a moment. Although my frigates are getting shot down, which they still have noteworthy type of
The
lances.
enemy has seized a strategic area.
Oh, let's deal with that frigate, ideally. And get you out of dodge. Hell, I don't even need to reload or the brace for impact just yet, I think. Hell, I want the fighters to come after me. I'll use this gas cloud. Actually, this would be a good opportunity to turn around in all seriousness. I think that's how I best want to utilize this. Give myself as much space as possible, because if they come straight at me, I'm gonna get pincered in a corner. Eventually. And even though they don't really have a lot of firepower, I don't really get more power when I'm flying in close range. So let's get these to help contribute. Shoot down as many of these as possible. And get ready to boost the hell on out at the same time. Oh. Okay, so that seals that deal, I guess.
For the ruinous powers! We stand ready.
Alright, let's just get on out. My opponent burnt all their combustion gauge, or at least a good majority of it. I just gotta make sure I start doing the permanent damage, and ideally start grabbing points. I think is what I want to do. Otherwise, the moral of the story is just get the most out of these point defense. And start outlasting the bombers and fighters we may have to deal with. Especially now if assault ships are getting shot down. I would like to deal with that one Stig there, ideally. This will be a slow match, but I can weather the storm. Now, it's a question of what these fighters are after in all seriousness. Are they going after the battleship? In which case, that should be relatively easy to do. My frigates are eventually going to get whittled down, though. Keep on boosting. I'm not getting to do the full damage I would like, though. That's the only problem there. And I have stasis bombs, so let's make good use of it in this case. And my opponent does have reload. I gotta remember that too. I want to make sure the fighters are whittled down as much as possible, since I haven't really lost much of my point defense on the battleship just yet. How much do I have left? Not a good amount. I was hoping... It's becoming apparent it's going to be really difficult to focus fire, mind you, but so long as this Desolator is near to my frigates or cruisers, the faster these things die. I am losing all my points though, but once things start dying, or hell, I'm going to be able to capture these points easily enough. I'm flying towards them for crying out loud. Okay. Alright, lightning strike. Do the damage necessary. You do have macro cannons, so let's be careful of that. Which, damn it, this is becoming more and more of a problem. But that is a lot of boring damage. Unless you want to call to arms. Nope. I want you to go in there. I'm getting my frigate groups all wrong, but... Yeesh, that's a lot of boring. Oh, it's the assault crafts. I'm getting bored to death because of that. Let's get the call to arms there. I hate to lose this just because of my own incompetence. Just letting that boost fallout is kind of hurting me a lot. And my opponent I don't think is using call to arms just yet. It's hard to say. Ah, dang it. I'm just getting this thing bored to death, so it's not helping me in any regard. At least the Stigs have like very little firepower. And I can transfer... Well, I was going to say I can transfer troops. Where the hell is that option, though? Oh, it's on cooldown. Okay. It's not shooting, but... These assault ships should... Oh, I'm not even regenerating my combustion gauge with that said, but you can see the assault team, their boarding is being heavily mitigated right now. Now, let's get these damn things utilized. Let's make use of these frigates, ideally. Because all this power is basically in your fighters, which hopefully all your fighters are pretty much dealt with right now. And if you're not going to utilize... Oh my god, that called arms working amazingly. All those boring attempts and we haven't even gone through the first critical phase just yet. I haven't done any troop siphoning myself, but... Engines. I just don't know how this will work for cooldown. There's a lot of uncertainties with this ability right now, but it's working wonders for tanking at the moment. Now, let's just get out and start capturing these points. If this thing can survive for the micro warp jump, then I'm okay. To an extent. Because my Acrons can start getting ready to move. No, apparently it's when I cancel it that the dang called arms starts effect, so... That is a mistake. I couldn't repair or do anything I want there. Now I'm just played my hand, as it were. That is unfortunate. It was doing so well to absorb all that damage too. Maybe I should have waited till the dang micro warp jump. Alright, let's get these out.
As the War Master wills.
We'll deal with our one frigate there, because at the end of the day, this should be almost all.
It's a trap. Disengaging.
Okay, hold that thought. I'm still at risk of this falling apart on me for reasons, and I don't like that. I don't like that prospect one bit. So let's just get on going, and yeah, all that's left are bombers, and I don't even think there's any fighters left. I just gotta be mindful of grabbing points to kind of balance this out some.
Set engines to full ahead.
Alright. Not much else to say there. Aside for... Well, I did turn on the siren cannon there, and let's see. You're a frigate I love to deal with. You're only a single frigate, mind you.
Has seized a strategic area.
Hell, you know what? I could just send these over here to cap this point. And you're gonna try... You're gonna try and pincer me down. I could deal with the bomber some, I just got to do the critical damage necessary. I probably should do regular boring with that said too. Oh, your shields came up at a bad time. A really bad time, and again, I ran out of combustion gauge, but brace for impact is doing its thing. Let me actually start controlling this properly. I am wedged into a corner, but if my opponent's going to rely on the bombers a lot, I'm going to have to call arms. That was the wrong key. That was the wrong damn key, sadly. Again, another case where I'm probably going to lose due to my own incompetence a little bit. And I don't like it. It's been a bad day. I think I could safely say that now.
Let the galaxy burn.
But I can outlast the fighters. That is about to die. And actually, let me change our engagement range to just ram this thing. What? What the hell happened? Oh, my. Can this video be over already? I'm not happy. I'm not happy with myself, simply put. But the battleship's at risk of dying. Troops are... I'm continuing to lose troops there. But if they're only bombers, I'll be fine. I literally told you to ram. Oh, this is getting better and better. Flagship's destroyed. I did not take any morale damage, thankfully. I want to keep hitting that thing. Yeah, I'm outlasting the bombers. However, let me just siphon some troops here. How exactly does this work? I'm curious how well that works. Well, I'm not going to find out. Really? Oh. Capture the point, Witter, will you? Would you kindly capture the point? Engine's gone there. Permanently gone at that. And we're about to have repairs up in a moment. Come on, 2, 1. I don't think that really matters all that much, all things considered, but... It's my 4 frigates versus whatever one is left. I wanted a boring, not a lightning strike, so that was a mistake there, somewhat. But I think we could still win this. despite as much as I'm complaining, and a lot of that is just residual and after effect from the dang last match. That was mine to lose. That was my match to lose. Let's see. I'm going to stay with this here and wait to siphon more crew back up, since this has very little firepower to its name. And the battleship just kind of gone AWOL. So grab the points and get ready to move on out. And ideally, how long do I have to wait? Apparently another minute. They're only bombers, so they're not going to do any more troop damage. I just got to make sure I'm clustered together to make sure it doesn't do the damage necessary. Come on, come at me. As soon as I fly off, I'm probably condemning this Acheron to death, in all seriousness. So you are unfortunately going to die, it looks like. But at least you found the frigate, but I have 4 frigates that kind of do the same thing, but better. And this Stig's kind of in a separate place. Oh, I was looking at the wrong key. So how much can I siphon troop? Apparently I only get 1 troop there. I have to do it with every single cruiser. I'll actually let it go. By all means, let that damn thing go. You're actually helping me, I would argue, because that would be taking a lot of time to deal with. Your engines are destroyed though, so I'm kind of regretting, to a limited extent, letting you go, or trying to siphon that. You're not going to contribute a whole lot, with no deck or anything of that nature. Ooh, and you have no engine. Well, this is getting awkward. I know Slaanesh is all about pleasures and desires and all that stuff there, but I don't think this is the kind of... I don't think we want to witness a cruiser mating call here right now. Instead, if you want to get physical, if you want to get rough, why not just say hello to the Stig here? It looks like a promising candidate. And sadly, not much I could do for you. I can't give you brace for impact. I might as well lock on. And deal with this Stig here. I think this is a win. I apologize if this may have been a bit of a downer episode. If only a little bit. Maybe my mood will change some more now that we got this victory. But still, I am liking the potential of the boarding. We saw just how resilient that Desolator was, for crying out loud, with the cold arms. I just didn't realize it was keeping the cooldown on hold until I actually canceled it, mind you. Because I could have just left that on, and since this thing has so little damage aside from the bombers, it could have just stayed active almost indefinitely there until until all the boarding parties were spent. Because, hell, we even had a before and after kind of effect there when I prematurely canceled the boarding, or the cold arms after all. So how much impact it'll make in the long term is anybody's guess. Okay, I could cold arm you easily enough. And that just turns off. Oh.
The enemy has accumulated 75% of strategic
well, if anything, I want to go after this thing. Go after that and do the damage necessary. Hell, how amusing would it be to just steal a point from behind them? But in all seriousness, I think I want to try and finish off our dang Desolator, Despoiler. I don't think it's going to be possible, though. Not with the torpedoes anyway, is what I mean to say. I would need to get exceptionally close, and there's 2 cruisers with point defense that are going to try and shoot them down. Well, 1 torpedo hit. I don't think it did any damage, mind you. Yeah, I got a substantial lead right now. I didn't even look at the score until just now. So help us deal with the cruiser. Yeah, that's game. Aw, where are my manners? I didn't even have good luck. My. Ultimately, I'm not happy with this video, but it's not like the matches were bad, mind you, especially the Necron one. It's just one of those experiences where it would definitely set you on a being tilted. I think that is understandable, since if I had not let those combustion gauge burn out, then I could at least still had it available against the tomb ships and just boost it away without them getting boarded, ideally. Sure, it would take a little bit of the lightning arc fire, but at least I could have stayed at range, and those Acrons could have been perfect for sniping that one little frigate. But nonetheless, I'm happy for the playtesting of the cold arms. That's the one thing I could be very helpful or thankful for, because it seemed like it did the trick. At least, hell, they were cruisers and a battleship for crying out loud, so it was damn potent.